Okay.
You can start now.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time joining us on your weekend time. I will present just my screen. Okay. So I hope you see my screen. Welcome everyone. My name is Adar. I'm from Compliance, the marketing director, and I'm super excited to be here with you. Our webinar today will cover the topic of the new QMS normal post-COVID-19 for the life science industry. As the COVID-19 event unfolded, many new business challenges were presented that needed to be addressed in order to achieve business continuity. In the past 6 months, we had hundreds of conversations with quality leaders and had them go through the new imposed challenges with our ready-to-use QMS technology. Just to give you a better understanding of who we are, Compliance is the industry-first ready-to-use QMS software for the life sciences. We focus on providing maximum value with minimum effort investment from your end. In this webinar, we will host Gal Asselkorn, VP Sales, and Idor Worm, Solution Engineer at Compliance. Also here with me is Kamal, Managing Director at CRQA, a Compliance partner who is helping me to moderate this webinar. As for our agenda today, what to expect from this webinar, we will cover a few topics. We will start with a panel discussion on the impact on the life science industry. We will go over the current challenges of the COVID-19. We will talk about the new QMS normal, and we will also have a quick tour of ready-to-use QMS solution. And in the end, we're also going to have allocated time for questions and answers. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation or interview, please submit them into the question box in your Zoom control panel. We have reserved 5 to 10 minutes for a Q&A session after the presentation and also at the end of the webinar, and we will try to answer as many as we can, the time permitting. Now, I would like to turn this over to Kamal, a Compliance partner and the Managing Director at CRQ.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to personally extend my warm welcome to all the eminent participants from the Indian pharmaceutical industry, and would like to thank, a special thank of taking time on Sunday morning. I would like to introduce you to our main guest today, Mr. Gal Hasselkorn. Gal is from the Compliance, the industry leader in the ready-to-use in the QMS technology. Gal is an expert in quality management system technology in highly regulated industries like pharmaceutical, food and beverages, and has worked with many life sciences companies in the implementing the compliance systems. Gal has a proven track record in leading the technology organizations over the past 25 years. Welcome, you, Gal.
Good morning, good afternoon, actually. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Ada, for the intro, and welcome everybody to this webinar. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Gal, we have been, speaking with the industry for the last about 6 months, 7 months. And prior to that as well, but last 6 months, a lot of discussion, to explore. So really want to understand, to explore in more detail the impact of COVID in the life sciences company. And I would like to ask you, a few questions on this impact, and from your own perspective in working with the life sciences leaders, especially in the last 6 months, you have had a lot of opportunities to work with the various life sciences companies. So would, on behalf of industry, I mean, these, questions largely come from the companies, pharmaceutical companies from time to time. So would like to have your opinion on these issues. So, working with the life science, working with the quality leaders, would you like to discuss, you observe the role of the technology today as a part of the preventing steps companies take to prevent themselves from your own personal experience?
That's a great question. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that one of the things we have seen over the last months is that, first of all, nothing can be taken for granted. Everything can be changed. I think that what we have seen is that in order for us, and again, I relate it to the quality management within the life science companies, is that business continuity is a key. We have seen that in order for us to be able to continue work, we need to put in place the technology that allows us to do business almost no matter what. So we need to create, as a prevention to whatever will come in the future, we need to try and create something which will allow us to continue work in this changing world around us. So first of all, we see that this is the first thing that we came across. The other thing, as a result, is that one of the major changes we went through is that everybody is working from everywhere. So we need to provide a solution for people to continue, in order to continue working these times, everywhere, anytime. And again, a major change versus where we have been before. I think that one of the things we're always very relying on our ability to move, to go together, to do things which suddenly were taken away from us. It's not even our decision to stop doing this. So in order to prevent being in this position in the future, we need to put in place the ability to continue working also remotely and seamlessly in the future, in order to provide, again, to continue provide the same level of service and solutions that we used to do in the past. And one last thing about what technology and what are the technology we look at is the ability to create one system across the organizations. Again, to make our life more simple, to make our life more affordable, we need to provide a solution to this kind of organizations, which, if you look at it in the past, we managed to live with multiple systems somewhere because people were managing to do the bridge between the systems. What we see today more is that because of our being at home, being remote, we need system to do this bridging. So technology we see people put in place more remote access, one holistic solutions, and ability to continue work all the time.
Thanks, Carl. And how do you what are the recent developments actually which became a game changer in the QMS arena today, QMS technology arena?
So I think the first and most major change, it didn't happen lately, but it's affecting the quality management and life science industry. It's getting more and more affecting us. It's this cloud solution. It's this really the ability to provide, to answer my former challenges with technology. Cloud is coming as an answer, because cloud allowing you to flatten the organization from this perspective, to create on one hand one system across borders, across countries, across time zones, and also to give you the flexibility to create the virtual teams, the virtual places, the virtual environment. So it's the first change the technology is giving us. The second one is our ability to very easily integrate. I think that if you take 10, 15 years ago, integration was a major issue. So, and today world with the new technologies, to integrate between systems, to build, again, one solution that speak with each other, the elements speak with each other, again, It's something that it's changing in the way that it's coming to our world. Integration today is easy. It's much easier than it used to be in the past. And these two changes, the cloud with the software as a service approach and simpler integration, allow you to provide one QMS across organizations from small to very big ones.
So next my question, which is almost related with the previous, is that what are the new trends you are seeing in this space? And obviously cloud is very important a trend you have seen, but what other a QMS trends you observed, especially in the last 6 months and the post-COVID scenario?
Yeah, I think that people, when I speak with people in the industry, and then when I look into the last discussions I had with customers in different places, really, I have the pleasure of working with customers across the world, and I see a similar requirement. Again, we see the world more and more asking for an out-of-the-box solution. We see a growing requirement to go from a very extensive project, which the changes in the world, you know how you start, you never know how you finish. So you want something concise, you want something now, you want something to start very quickly. So you understand that in order for this to happen, you need to shorten dramatically the implementation time. So we see a growing requirement for out-of-the-box solutions. We see a growing requirement for quick deployment of system, something that is come very quickly. On another another word is that we see global teams or teams across multiple cities. If we take, for example, India, it's very nice to see that on one hand, COVID put us at home. On the other hand, because everybody is at home, it's much easier to create this kind of global teams to go on an ongoing process to take a decision. Something that in the past we used to travel. Sometimes we quickly moved into the position that having a Zoom decision process is something that it's much more common today. And it's a major change in the way that we see businesses going, because we see people across the world working as teams to take quicker decisions in order to quickly implement out-of-the-box solutions.
Thanks, Gal. I think you're right. I mean, the companies in India, there's a very pleasant news. The companies have adopted the technology from the work from home and the various technologies. Today, the companies are fairly fast it was quite a pleasant surprise. Actually, the companies were fairly fast in adopting the technologies which will help them in actually work remotely more. What will be the difference moving forward now in the QMS technology space, and especially the post-COVID-19?
I think that before I answer these questions, I want just to relate to something you said about how quick. Really, it's I fully align with what you said. It's become much more quicker to take a decision, because in the past we used to wait for a meeting, we used to wait for someone to come to do a presentation. Today we can see, you and I have been working for a long time, and we see people say, okay, let's do it now. It's something that we didn't see in the past, this ability to create this kind of approach, and it's really refreshing from this perspective. And now back to your question. I think that one of the major changes we will see is that we are going into productization of quality management. It means that if we take, not so long ago, QMS have been a project. It's been something we went through a design, we went through a long process to define what we need. And what we see today, people want to buy it as a product. They want to take it as is, to take the product, start using it, like many other solutions out there. And through the time to do the adaptation, to even in many cases, we see the organization adapt to the product versus other way around, where you want to have something really suited to you specifically. So this is one of the major things that we'll see is this kind of productization. What I'm talking about is the ability to buy it as a product. And in the future, we will also see, because of the cloud, because of this technology that again is getting better and better, we will see new things coming. We already see and start discussing things about predictive quality management. We see new models of integration with other part of the organization in order to create one holistic solution around the electronic batch record, around other elements in the organization. So we will see the cloud technology, which is becoming more and more part of this of the QMS world, allowing us to harmonize quality management solutions across organizations, to have one system versus a lot of pockets of systems. It's much easier to create one system, even if you are in multiple places, multiple cities. If you have a cloud solution, it looks like one system, versus in the past, every place has to have its on-site infrastructure, which made life much more difficult. So QMS as a product, new features coming out of the SaaS around analytics and prediction, and the ability to have ongoing usage of the system, no matter where you are and what are you doing. So the ability to start at work from your desktop, to continue the day after from home, and the third day from the move from your mobile. This is the key changes we will see.
Thank you, Gal. Thanks for the great insights. It shows how COVID actually accelerated the digitalization, and I see this more and more. We work on the various technologies today in the pharma life sciences domain. Let's see if anyone from the audience have more questions right now. But what I suggest, in the in the interest of the time, I would like to request you to come up with your presentation, a formal presentation, which would help the audience in understanding your views in a little more detail. I welcome you for your presentation, Gal.
Thank you very much, Kamal. Okay, so I think that one of the, again, COVID-19 is something that created a lot of disruption points on our business continuity worldwide. I think that we moved from a shock where everything at the beginning, everything stopped, kind of, everybody didn't really know. And we are now facing a situation where everybody understands that COVID-19 is here and it's not going to disappear tomorrow morning. And more than that, we need to build ourselves better in order for us to be ready if this something or something similar will also happen in the future. So I think this is kind of a unique opportunity for us, on one hand, to create the right infrastructure to address this kind of issues in the future. So I think the first thing we all came across when COVID came up is that we were all being asked to stay at home or not go to the office. Suddenly, this freedom of moving everywhere, every time we need, we couldn't do it anymore. So teams couldn't meet anymore face to face. It was a global effect. Suddenly, it wasn't only a problem of one country somewhere. It's become a global issue. It's become an international domestic impact across all world. There isn't any place in the world who haven't suffered. So we become one very large village, the global community, and we need to see how we work together in order to address it. And I think that we all understand today that coming years, things will be different. It won't disappear tomorrow morning, and business travel is not coming to where it's been in the coming years. So we need to build ourselves to be ready. That we need to change the way that we work. We need to change the way we meet. We need to change the way we take decisions. One of the things we came across is, again, we become isolated socially. We have to make sure that people continue to deliver their roles even from home, to do whatever work, if possible, they can do from remotely. And I think not less important, and this again something that will stay with us in the future, is that people are worried about themselves. There is a lot of question marks about stability. There is a lot of question about commercial or personal well-being, a lot about my ability to where I will be from a financial point of view in 6-12 months. So we need to take care of people. They are remote. So there is a lot of changes to how we work with employees. And I think the last point is also very, very important, is that suddenly our freedom was no longer in our hands completely. I think this is a major difference to all of us who lived in the last years where everything was open. We can do whatever, almost we can take a decision today to fly tomorrow, to go on vacation, to go wherever we want almost. And suddenly, because of this new situation, from today to tomorrow, we were restricted by governments not to go, not to do, not to things we were so easy. I know the ocean is almost a kilometer from where I live, but I cannot go there to swim. And again, this is something which in the past would sound something like kind of we will never be in this position, but it's here. And it's not only affecting us, it's not only affecting my organizations, it's affecting everybody. So my supply chain, all my suppliers, my distribution channels, my partners, everybody going through the same. So we need to think about how we are bridging this broken supply chains, how we are bridging this less of capability to transport goods from one place to another. And we need to make sure that while we do this, we create business continuity. And again, I'll go back into this. This is the statement we have been trying to deliver, is that we need to try and build a way to continue working under all these new restrictions in this new world. It's really a new world. And I think that if you look in the past, there have been points in our life where sometimes there was this kind of a major change in the world that created a post effect across the world. If it's been 20 years ago with the travel, so we need to build solutions, and today solutions means better technologies and processes in order to be able to continue work under the new world. So I think we are facing a lot of challenges, but fortunately to us, technology is in a place which will allow us to build the new bridges, the new solutions to continue working in this new world. And this is what we are trying to define as what we call the new QMS normal, the new QMS post COVID-19, which will become the normal way of doing business. So we are talking about electronic quality management system. I think it's kind of, and I'll take the word Kamal used, it's really accelerated the processes that were already in place. We have seen things happening. We didn't invent anything, but it surely accelerates completely the way people want to have, because they don't have a choice. It's always a good motivation. So in order to continue product development, to create a cross-organization documentation, you cannot just take a paper in India and have someone in the US review, sign, and send back for final approval in India. It doesn't work like this. You cannot move papers at this ease anymore. How do you run trainings across large organizations and keep it kind of everybody can be trained on everything all the time? Manage your subcontractors and suppliers anywhere without the ability to go there and meet them face to face. And how you do auditing, where you are not allowed to go on site to meet customers. So all of this, when you have an electronic quality management solution, you have the ability to address all these questions and continue provide the right level of quality which is needed for our heavy regulated industry. And with this today technology, and like we said before, we see that the need to have one system across the organization as a product. Again, we see technology provide you with today's technology. Answers are there. It's the pure cloud solution which allows you from anywhere, anytime to get to your systems. It's give you a flat solution. So no matter where you are, you have the same look and feel of the solution, the same even how quickly you can access your resources over the cloud, unlimited storage practically, backup, redundancy, all is there. It's ready to use immediately. You get the URL and you start to use the systems. There is almost no risk. You don't have to invest in a capital investment in your very expensive internal servers, access, develop solutions internally, nothing. It's ready, it's there. You don't like it, you change. It's minimum risk, maximum value. It's unlimited scalability. If you are 5 employees, 50, 5,000 employees, it still provides you with the same level of service across the entire organization. And it's ready for the future. What we call today quality 4.0, it means prediction, it means using of machine learning and AI for the future. It means better reporting tools, and it's there, it's ready, and it will continue to improve over time and be ready to use. One of the great things about cloud technology and about the new quality management normal is that all these changes will be available for every customer all the time as they are getting released. This is the great thing about it. It's being developed and ready to be used by everybody all the time. So what we try in order to make customer life much easier is provide by us, by .compliance, this ability to give you better access to systems like this. I'm sure Kamal will talk about it later, about this approach, and I bring it back to you, Kamal, to continue this excellent webinar.
Thank you, Gal. Thank you so much for your very insightful presentation. What we would do now, we would take some questions perhaps from the audience. You can write your questions there in the chat window, or we can, the admin can allow you to speak as well. You would like to ask any questions from Gal? Your question perhaps is not suitable for this particular webinar. Gal, the question is, can anyone tell me about the flame-proof camera for the auditing and API industry? Maybe you could address this.
Like you said, it's not really part of what we deliver.
This with flame-proof camera. Any questions from the audience on the QMS, on the
maybe I think Kamal, let's say maybe people will at the end after the demo there will be more questions.
I would like to invite now Ido for the presentation, a demo of the .compliance quality management systems. I would also be very happy if any of you would like to have one-to-one demo for your company on the .compliance system. You want to have the trial access of the .compliance EQMS system, will be happy to help. I would now like to hand over the session to Ido. Ido, all yours.
Thank you, Kamal. First of all, it's a great honor to be here. Now I'd be happy to introduce you to our unique models in a really quick presentation, just to give you an idea what you can do with our QMS system. And of course, you're going to see the unique models beside of the core processes that are also available. I will share my screen. Okay, so what you are seeing here is our supplier management model. We created for this model like a different kind of app or different area in the system. The benefits, or let's say the significant benefit that you can achieve from that model, especially in this time, is the communication with your suppliers, with your vendors, and anything that you want to document in your system can be shared with your suppliers, and everything can be done in one place in a very simple and intuitive way. So, for example, we can see here just an example to some fabric supplier that I just made up. You can see on the form itself on the basic information that you need for the way of communication and the way of you are working with your specific supplier. Under the items tab, you can find some product items or some equipment that you are working with that maybe this supplier, this vendor is the supplier of this equipment, or you give for your organization some services. Under the quality tab, for example, you can find any kind of quality information that has been created in the system and has a direct connection to this fabric supplier. So, for example, we can see also a direct connection to our audit management module. After creating an audit program, for example, you can create to this program an audit. It can be internal, external, or like in this example, audit for a supplier. So on this audit, you can describe the scope and the purpose of the audit, where is located, who is the auditee and the auditor side, maybe to add some relevant dates. And during this audit, sometimes we can find some gaps or some issues. So everything can be documented here under the findings tab. You can create all the findings that came up during this audit. You can get here all the relevant information for this specific finding, and directly from the finding, you can create, for example, a new CAPA in order to fix and handle this situation. So as you can see, the system is a cross-reference oriented, so everything can be connected to any kind of a process. And let's the last thing that I want to show you, I just went back to this fabric supplier record. Also under the quality tab, we can find, for example, all the complaints that have been created and got connected to this supplier. But I don't want to show you the complaint itself, but I want to show you one of our very powerful tools that we called the electronic forms. And especially on these days, for example, you can see here the FDA 3500 form that uses us for submission to authorities, or in this example, the FDA authority. And during the process of the complaint handling, we want to submit, in some cases, all the information when it's necessary to our authorities. And we can do it by ourselves in the system. Any kind of form can be created by yourself, by the companies. You don't need any validation in order to execute it later. And you can create any kind of form with any kind of sections or questions. It can be with a text questions, or a pick list, a single pick list, or multi-pick list. You can even create a dependency between questions. You can see the error. It don't let me continue because I need to complete these mandatory sections. So with this tool, you can create any kind of form, any kind of checklist or to-do list that can complete any kind of process in the system. And especially on these days, the benefit walking for a long distance, it can be very, very useful and very efficient for your communication and the way you are working with. Thank you. Kamal?
Thank you, Ido. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. And just to convey this, we'll be very happy to do the this typical demo of the dot compliance QMS system. Takes about 35 to 40 minutes. And if any one of you is interested, please, we'll reach back to you as a follow-up of this webinar. If you could share some time, we'll be happy to give you the detailed presentation on demo on the solution. Gal, I have some questions, and I leave the panel now open for the question. There are a couple of questions from Krishna. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Krishna. Is it possible for any other organization to hack the QMS system for another organization from the cloud where it is being stored?
Is it, just to repeat the questions to make sure that I understand, is it possible
for any other organization to hack the QMS system of another organization from the cloud where it is being stored?
The answer is absolutely yes. It's possible. It's all about permissions, because access is only on user base. So if you would like to have someone from external to your organization to get access, if it's a subcontractor or a consultant that is working with you, you can give him access rights from outside. And to give him a very limited set of permissions, for example, that he can only see a subset of the information, you can create kind of a discussion over the link to your to this external person over this very secure access to allow him to be part of your quality process, even if he's not directly in your organization.
But what she's also asking is that is there any third party can hack the system, QMS system? Is it possible to hack the system, cloud system?
To install it on someone's own cloud?
Yeah, hacking is possible.
To hacking?
Yeah.
We are using Salesforce as the platform for our solution. Salesforce is one of the leading provider of network access in the world. They are known for their CRM, but also they allow using the platform for other applications like ourselves. They are one of the best, I think, solution out there from security perspective. Of course, you know, it's always possible, but I think the chances are very low. Every large organization in the world use Salesforce to some extent. There isn't an organization in the world, almost doesn't exist, that doesn't use Salesforce. The FDA use Salesforce. Every tier 1 pharma company in the world use Salesforce. So I think it's very, very secure solution, and we can provide whatever certificates customer would like to in order to give him the confidence that everything possible is done in order to secure the data and the access.
So another part of the question is, which you have already answered in a sense, that is the secured. What are going to prevent this concern of hacking, as organization with their servers is their responsibility?
Again, I
Krishna,
think that
yeah.
Yes, sorry. Please go.
Go ahead.
I think as part of the change into a cloud concept is to understand that we're giving people which this is their expertise, this is what they do, is to protect our data, to make sure it's available, protect, and ready to use all the time. This is what the cloud is about. And I think that this is the new world. We put our money in the bank. We trust the bank to hold the money. Because the bank is probably doing this much better than we do it below the mattress. Again, the same concept. This is their role. This is what they do. This is what they are being paid to do. And this is, I think, the best solution around security is to provide this data for them to keep it for us.
Thanks, Carl. What quality process, another question, what quality processes do you offer as a part of the dot compliance free access? And how does long it take actually from making a decision to launching ready to use your QMS system?
Okay, so I will, with your permission, share it. You know, someone taught me many years ago that the best answer is when you have a slide ready for this. So let me share. So this, okay. So what we provide as part of the free trial, again, because we are talking about out-of-the-box solution, ready to use, we provide a free trial of the system, which you can actually get a full functioning system, try and use it. And then it's completely up to you as a customer to take a decision whether or not you want to continue use it. As part of it, we provide around 10 key processes out of the box with the document, training, CAPA, complaint, risk, audit, supplier, and maintenance. All of this can be part of this implementation, and you can see how easy it to quickly get on board our quality management system. And again, quick is the key when you're going into trial. The thing is that you can start using the system in a matter of few days. There is no setup needed on your side. We provide you with this environment, with the login information, and start using this immediately. There are ongoing shared training classes you can join or download to see. And this is something which, again, is very unique in our industry. It's part of what we believe is the productization of quality management, making it available for everybody from a very early stage until you grow, until you are thousands of employees. Just start using it.
Thank you so much. Any other question, audience? Anyone would like to about the QMSs or the quality challenges or the? You can speak. We can unmute. Vinayak, you can unmute all so that anyone would like to ask the questions and we'll be happy to answer. You can write on the chat window. Okay. It seems that no one has questions at this stage. Gal, thank you very much for your, yeah, there's another question just come in. Great, Ganesh, very good
Yes.
question. Is your software is a full Part 11 Annex 11 compliant? Yes, Gal,
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We are fully compliant with 21 CFR Part 11 and the Annex 11. The system is built in order for this to be compliant with. So great, great questions. Yes, we also comply with 134085 for medical device industry, and other. If you need information, we will be happy to provide. Great, thank you very much for the question.
You can always send ask the questions. We can arrange a private one-to-one, the demo of the software and any of the questions you have around us, around this QMS software. We'll be happy to answer that. Thank you, Gal. I think we will, if any questions comes in, I will share with you. Thank you, Hadar. Thank you for your time for organizing this event. Thank you, Ido, for making a demo for dot compliance. Thank you, Gal, for very insightful presentations and taking out time for this event today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience, for taking out time on Sunday for this excellent presentation by Gal.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Thanks all for your presentation. Thank you.